Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Olivier and in today's video I want to share with you my 5 favorite books for beginners. The first book that I recommend is called Meditation for Beginners by Jack Kornfield. First, Jack Kornfield is a meditation teacher who has taught in the US and in the world for more than 30 years. He has trained as a Buddhist monk in the forest of Thailand, and what I like about this book in particular is that it is very short and the chapters are also very short themselves, maybe 2 or 3 pages. And in this book, Jack explains the essence of mindfulness meditation. He will walk you through how to pay attention to your breathing, how to pay attention to the sensations in your body, how to pay attention to your feelings, how to deal with them, to your thoughts. And then he takes those core practices and applies them to other parts of our life, such as forgiveness. Sometimes we have done things that we regret, or maybe somebody has hurt us in the past and we have a challenge to let go of our regret or of our anger. And so he offers some elements in the topic of forgiveness for us to let go and to live with more ease and more freedom. He also touches on some how to apply meditation in some activities of our daily life, such as walking or eating. And what is great also about this book is that it comes with guided meditation that you can practice along with the book. So for me, it is a great book, short, simple, to the point, with guided meditations. So I highly recommend it. The second book is called The Issue at Hand by Fronsdal. Gil is also a meditation teacher and has taught Vipassana or insight meditation for more than 30 years, for several decades. He has trained in Zen Buddhism and then in another form of Buddhism in Burma. And this book, I have it here, as you can see, very short as well. And the chapters as well are each of them are 2-3 pages long, not more. In this book, Gil also covers the foundations of mindfulness, our breath, our body, our feelings, our thoughts, but also touches on fear, on anger, on compassion, and so forth. It is similar to the first book, but in this book, Gil also shares a little bit about Buddhism, some core teachings of Buddhism. And if the word Buddhism scares you a little bit because it has a religious connotation, to me, Buddhism is not really a religion or a faith. It is more a set of core teachings or tools that we can take and apply to our daily life and see if they help with our challenges, see if they make us happier, more at ease and more at peace. So for me, Buddhism is not so much a faith, it's more a practice, just like we practice tennis or we practice yoga. It's a practice to deepen our understanding of ourselves and of others. I really enjoy this book because of its simplicity as well. It's very clear, very elegant, and I have done a retreat with Gil Fronsdal, a meditation retreat, and to me he's one of the best meditation teachers currently. So that's it for this book. On to the next. The third book is quite different from the previous ones. This book is called Search Inside Yourself and was written by an engineer at Google, along with the help of some experts in other fields. This book is quite different because it takes an unconventional approach on meditation. It talks about meditation from the point of view of emotional intelligence and neuroscience. So in this book, you will learn about the research that has been done to study the effect of meditation on the brain, and you will learn the different parts of the brain that get affected by meditation, as we know, such as the prefrontal cortex right behind our forehead, that helps with our cognition, our ability to think and to plan. You will learn about the amygdala, the center of the emotional part of the brain that is responsible for the fight, flight, or freeze response, and how meditation affects the prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, and some other parts of the brain. So for me, this book was eye-opening in terms of understanding the different functions, the different parts of the brain, and how meditation helps to strengthen all certain parts that can benefit us. In this book, the author talks about emotional intelligence and how meditation helps us to develop more emotional intelligence, namely our ability to become more self-aware of our thoughts and emotions, our ability to self-regulate our emotions, for example, when we have triggers, and how to connect with others better. I highly recommend it because it gives another perspective of meditation that is very approachable, very interesting, and so easy to read. So go ahead and check it out. So the fourth book is called The Mindful Day. And in this book, the author, Laurie, who's also a friend and a peer, shares several mindfulness practices that you can apply throughout your day, in the morning, at work, or when you have a day off, in the evening, and also how to use mindfulness in your communication, in your relationships. So this video is about meditation books. So why do I talk about mindfulness books? Now, to me, meditation and mindfulness are one and the same thing. When we are mindful of our breathing, we dedicate our full attention to our breathing. We observe the air coming in and out. And this is exactly what meditating on the breath is. When we meditate, it is the same thing. We dedicate our full attention onto one thing. So when we become mindful of our steps, this is called mindful walking, also known as walking meditation. When we are mindful of what we eat, this is called eating meditation, and so forth. So the idea is that mindfulness, when practiced to anything that we do, when our attention is fully dedicated to what we are doing, is also a type of meditation. Meditation does not have only to be practiced when we sit on a cushion or on a chair. So what I like about this book is that, again, the chapters are very short, only 2 pages long, 2 or 3 pages long. And at the end of each chapters, there is suggestions of mindfulness practices. As you can see, there is you can see the how-to with a few points for you to inspire you and to pick some of those practices and apply it to your daily life. So the last and not least is a book from my favorite author. This author, his name is Thich Nhat Hanh, and he is a Zen Buddhist monk, and has been ordained as a monk at the age of 16 years old and has been practicing mindfulness for 70 years or so. The book that I recommend is called Peace is Every Step. And in this book, Thich and Hanh shares many practices that you can apply in your daily life to come back to the present moment and to enjoy all the activities that you already do. What I enjoy the most when I read books from Thich and Hanh is how I feel when I read those books. The way that he writes is very simple, poetic, and truthful and helpful and healing. I have never felt that way when before I read his books. And he spent his whole life taking out of Buddhism the mindfulness practices that anyone can apply. So although he is a Buddhist monk, his books are not geared towards religion at all. They are geared towards people who live a regular life and are looking for ways to live more meaningfully, more deeply. He has written many other books, and I can recommend a few others. But first, I think if you haven't read any of his books, you can start with this one, Peace is Every Step. Then he has written other books such as this one, Fear, How to Deal with Fear, on anger. And this is one of my favorite books of all time, The Art of Communicating. And this one, Numbered No Lotus. In this book, he talks about the art of transforming suffering, that without mud, there is no lotus. And how do we transform the suffering that we experience into our life as a path for us to experience happiness? Thich Nhat Hanh is by far my favorite teacher, the one that had the most impact in my life and I have learned the most from. So I highly recommend those books or any of his. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my books recommendations, and please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Thank you.